record this quickly. There we go. And I know you've got a presentation for us and everything, but so we're going to be going through some slides just to help everybody have a bit of a visual into what you do. But what are the sort of key things that, I mean, I'd love to know from people actually in the chat box when you're watching this live and in the replay, what are the main things that you struggle with when it comes to snacking? And what's the sort of main thing you would love to get out of tonight's call? But equally to you, Laura, what do you find crops up time and time again for people?
Yeah, the most common one when I ask people, what's your favorite snack that you like, your go-to snack that you really enjoy, but actually you want to cut out if you possibly can? And it's chocolate and it's crisps. So it seems to be the common kind of very sweet, that kind of addictive sugar side of things, or the very kind of carby, salty kind of snacks that people like. That's what comes up time and time again. And typically in the evenings or afternoons or weekends tends to be a pattern that people have with when they're snacking when they don't want to be.
And I guess there's probably quite a strong emotional attachment as well to snacking.
Yeah, a lot of people report, if I have a bad day, or they come up with excuses in their minds, the thoughts that lead them to that snacking. So that might be, oh, I deserve a treat, or it's a Friday. Kind of the brain searches for excuses to snack when really, the long-term goal is not to. So it's kind of that impulse snacking that people find a problem.
Okay, amazing. So what do you want to do? Do you want to jump straight into the presentation? You can talk people through the proven strategy that you've developed through your program of snack lists. There's a free workbook available at the end, guys, with a QR code. So have your phones ready to grab the QR code as well. And please, as we're going along, post any questions in here that crop up, because then we can have a bit of a Q&A at the end as well. Same in the replay, Laura will be tagged into this so she can answer your questions over the next few days. So please fire questions into the comment box. But Laura, I think you can share your screen. So
absolutely, right, let's jump in. So first of all, let's have a look. And what type of snacker are you? Can you see that okay, Chloe?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Excellent. So there are two things that you need to do to stop snacking when you don't want to. The first is increase your awareness of what you eat. And the second is increase your ability to practice healthy habits. So if you could write in the chat, if you're following along, what shape do you think you are right now? So we've got the top right are star snackers. This is what a lot of people aspire to be. So they know what they eat, they have a high awareness, and they practice healthy habits regularly. So that might be, you might already have healthy habits like drinking lots of water, taking supplements, for example. Let's just see if anything is coming through on the chat.
Oh, look. So we've got lots. Oh my goodness, I've just opened it. Right. Oh, there's lots on the call. Hi, everybody. Okay. Sweets, chocolate and anything sweet. Mindless snacking, evening snacking. Got to get out of the treat mindset. So yeah, evening snacking, mindless eating. So I'd imagine that for Claudia would be more of the kind of, I know what I should be eating, but I can't make the right food choices, or maybe more cloud, or I don't know. I have to say I'm a little bit of a star. So when I'm eating, I try and keep it all very imbalanced. Like I don't eat crisps, I don't eat chocolate, biscuits, things like that. I did treat myself actually to dairy milk today, and it was the first time I've eaten chocolate in months, and I absolutely loved it. But yeah, no, I try and make the really conscious things with the hummus and the crudité, and just the thing of, mine's more boredom, snacking, just restless hands at the end of the day, watching a movie or something. A lot of people now, right, I'm a cloud. Okay. Circle, 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 okay. Circle. Okay, we've got a lot of circles.
Okay. Now this is classic, right? Because people know what they need to eat to be healthy, lots of fruit and vegetables. but actually practicing that is really hard day to day, which is exactly where Snackless comes in, guys. So I'm a life coach, so I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. So basically Snackless relies on you knowing what to eat yourself. So that is all good stuff. And absolutely clouds, yeah, can help everyone. So the good news is that we can all become star snackers in 4 steps. Right, go to the next slide. So step 1 is identify your current snacking habits. So the first step in making any long-lasting change is to increase our self-awareness. So if you've ever thought, I'll go on a diet tomorrow and try to change your eating from bad to good overnight, you'll know what kind of mindset I'm talking about here. Somehow we imagine like one night's sleep will make all the difference to our motivation, don't we? I know I certainly have done the same before. So one of the reasons healthy eating attempts don't last is that on day 1 of your diet, you launch straight into a certain way of eating without really understanding sort of where you're starting from. So we've got some questions up here, and these answering these kind of questions will help you understand your current snacking habits. So if you, for example, what time of day do I tend to snack when ideally would prefer not to? So if any of you would like to post your answers in the chat, that would be awesome. See whether my theory about evening snacking is true among this group that we've got on tonight. So yeah, when are you most at risk of eating snacks that you would rather not, for example? What causes you to snack when you shouldn't be? Do you have specific thought patterns? So what excuses do you have? Do you give yourself, to have that bag of crisps, for example? I know someone posted in the chat about crisps. And then what day of the week do your snacking habits tend to be furthest away from optimal? So classically weekends would be an example of this.
Yeah. So I'm always happy to share, but I would say for me, it's the weekends in that thing of I deserve a treat. This is my night off. I've had a busy week with the kids. I'm just going to sit and enjoy this movie, and we're going to eat a whole thing of crisps with some dips and things like that. So that would be our one. But other than that, for me, it's actually after the school run, that kind of 4 till 5, when I'm a bit hungry and I've got to make dinner. So I might have a little snack and a bit of a sit down and things as a bit of a rest before the next part of the day, which is the dinner, the evening things, clubs, all that stuff, getting them into bed. So, but looking here, so my mate Frizzy, she's watching. Hey Frizz. So she's an evening snacker. Lucinda's evening, definitely. Mel's similar to me, so 4 o'clock, so probably after the school run and everything, and then sort of 8 o'clock, and then feeling that fatigue and wanting something sweet after dinner. And I noticed that. That's why I had that chocolate bar today. I had a really savoury lunch, and then I just was like, I need something sweet. And normally I resist it, but today I was like, no, I'm having one. Frizzy says having the bad food in the cupboards, so having it in the first place. And that's something I learned early doors. If there's biscuits in there or chocolate or it's going to get eaten, so I just don't buy it. I just make a rule not to have it in, because it's too much temptation, I think, when you've had a bad day or something like that. Sam says mid-afternoon and something sweet after dinner.
Yeah.
So similar, that sort of mid-afternoon snack, and then after the dinner wanting something sweet.
Yeah, very typical. Excellent. So to reiterate on step 1, if you don't invest time in knowing where you're starting from, it's impossible to make long-lasting change, because you don't know what strategies are actually going to get you to where you want to be. So keeping a daily food journal is a great way to do this. No need to calorie count or make it too complicated, weighing food, nothing like that. Just a simple description of what you're eating and when you're eating it. So on the Snackless program, we actually dedicate the first 8 days to this step. So all you have to do is write down what you eat and listen to a short daily coaching session, which is a pre-recording of my voice. And during this first step, the daily coaching sessions help you to delve into your habits, excuses to snack, and identifying the snacks that don't fit with your idea of a healthy eating day. So we stay really curious in this phase and non-judgmental. There's no jumping straight into diets with this because we're working on our behaviors. Right, excellent. Let's move on to step 2. Create a daily snack plan. So planning when you're going to eat each day enables you to identify when you're eating unnecessarily. So if you are eating something that isn't on your snack plan, then you know it's probably out of impulse. So seeing where your daily food journal deviates from your daily snack plan will give you a fresh insights into your relationship with food. I'm going to show you the next slide. So looking at Tom's example here, he had a snack plan for the day, which looks broadly like he would have enough to eat to keep him going, which is a really good start. Okay, so he's not trying to really limit his intake of food, and he's planned 2 snacks between his 3 meals, so that should be enough to keep him going. He also ate 2 donuts that afternoon, so you can kind of see he planned the banana and yogurt, he planned the juice plus shake, and then he ate some donuts. So he's put a star next to the food that doesn't match his snack plan, which is what we tell people to do on the program. Then over time, we start to see, oh, look, all of the little stars are at a certain time of day or when you're in certain situations as well. And you start to build up an idea about when you are having these kind of impulses to snack. I'd like you to think of a number right now. You can do it in your head, or by all means write in the chat. How many snacks, ideally, do you want to be eating each day on average? So actually, is it you want to cut out snacking altogether, so 0 snacks? Or maybe it's less than 1 per day, ideally, or maybe a couple a week? So think of what your number is.
I'd go for 2 for me. One of them is my 1 cup of coffee that I have a day, because I do it with the, Nespresso machine, with the cappuccino, with the oat milk and the stuff. It's a real treat for me. So I do like my coffee and I find it quite filling. So that's kind of a bit of a snack. And then I would want something at 4 o'clock before I start the dinner, just to keep my energy levels up. But it should ideally be fruit or veg, I think, like a good portion of something. Sliced apple, so it lasts longer, lots of nice slivers of it or something like that you can just pick at. It's more, for me, it's the hands, something to do and pick at.
Okay. Yeah.
Chill. Okay, and here we got 2/3, 1/2. Sam says none. I didn't used to snack at all. Frizzy's 2. So yeah, sort of like 2 seems to be the average, or none at all for Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. So by creating a snack plan, you're setting yourself a mini goal each day. So rather than being like, I'm going on a huge diet because I want to lose X amount of pounds, that quite often that can get you kick-started. But actually, to make long-lasting behavioural change, we need mini goals that we can work towards. So on the Snackless program, we spend time defining your healthiest day. And from day 9 onwards, you'll make snacking plans each day to see where you're most likely to impulse snack. You don't actually have to implement any strategy to try and stick to the plan at this point. Just make the plan, and then you can see the delta between where you are now and where you want to be. So again, in like an information gathering stage, because we think that we know a lot about our eating behaviors, and actually a lot of the time we know less than we think we do, or there's always something else to learn that we didn't realize before. Okay. Step 3. Implement alternative activities. So every behavior, like snacking, is preceded by a thought about food. So when this thought develops, it causes an increasing urge to eat, and you need a lot of willpower and energy to overcome it. Now, willpower and energy that you might well have when you've had a full night's sleep and a piece of good news that day, but maybe not on a typical day when we have life stressors that come into play. So here we go. The key strategy to avoid undesirable snacking is to recognize your first thought about eating as it's happening, and then distract yourself with an alternative activity until the urge to eat subsides. So throughout step 1 and 2, you will have identified your riskiest times and some of your thoughts that you're having. So, oh, Chloe, you mentioned earlier about having food in the cupboard. The triggering thought might be, I've got that in the cupboard, or I'm bored, like you said. I fancy something sweet. So we almost listen to your internal voice, and that's where you need to be listening out for, because right, I need to do an alternative activity. It can be difficult to reliably identify the exact triggering thoughts, but if you have an idea of what yours might be, pop it in the chat, because I'd like to hear whether or not you're similar to Chloe, or I'm bored, or I've got that in the cupboard, or whether you've got other things that if trigger sort of, what's the first thought you have before you go on to snack?
There's something I find a lot with clients is the clients who find they've got a little bit of excess weight, or they're chronically fatigued, they rely a lot on sugar or caffeine. And when I get their questionnaires, they drink very little water. And I always think, if I really am craving something, I'll just quickly down a massive glass of water. And I find that helps a lot. Because actually snacking or hunger is a lot of the time dehydration. So I think I'd always question myself, have I drunk enough water today?
Yeah, that's a good one. So
I was going to say women's hormones as well. I find time of the month makes a bit of a difference to hunger. I find myself more hungry in the first day or two. It's sort of like a hibernation feeling or something, but you just need more calories. I find that I want to eat more hungry. I don't know if that's a scientific thing or whatever, but Mel was saying she tries to, and this isn't directly to the question, but tries to eat fruit first and have a glass of water. And Sam says, I'm bored, or I get a sweet craving. I get what I called the pre-period munchies. I was just saying, like, hormonally, I think that affects us a little bit as well. So you might get the munchies a little bit around hormonal cycles.
Excellent. Well, in Tom's example on the previous slide, his was, I can't resist. Well, clearly, that's a limiting belief, because he does in fact have free will, and it takes a while to kind of work through those beliefs. So let me give you guys an example. So say I tend to snack when I don't want to, in the evenings at home, on the sofa, on my own. Say tonight my partner's gone out, I've got no plans except catching up with an episode of Happy Valley, and there's sweet food in the cupboard, which is what I like to snack on. Now, I know from my food journaling that these conditions tend to lead to me snacking when I don't want to. I'm clearly at risk. So thankfully, I will have my list of alternative activities to distract myself. I decide to have a shower immediately after dinner, which is my prime dessert time, and I brush my teeth. So brushing my teeth is an incentive not to snack this evening, because I will have to brush them again if I do eat something. So when I sit down to watch Happy Valley, I might also get some knitting out to keep my hands busy, because it's impossible to knit and eat. Chloe, you said you like to have something to do with your hands.
Pick up knitting.
Yeah, exactly. So on the Snackless program, from day 17, we start to implement the key strategy, which is distraction, that will enable you to resist snacks that you don't want to eat.
Actually, I know Sam's on the call, and I'm the same. Puzzles. I'm a right old granny when it comes to puzzles. If I get one at Christmas, I just know I'm hardly going to drink anything all Christmas, because I'm just in the zone doing my 1,000 piece. It totally sucks me in, so I love that. But I love the idea of brushing your teeth. That's a really big one, actually. Going and getting ready for bed, like early, getting all snuggled down, but having brushed your teeth. I'd rather have a peppermint tea or something than chocolate or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on the puzzlers.
Yeah, I love a puzzle.
Okay. And right, so step 4, obviously it's not enough for me to just tell you, just do something else. So we have to refine the list of activities and practice them. If you wanted to learn how to swim, you can't just read a book about the technical aspects of swimming. You have to practice. And being able to only eat when you want to is a skill, and therefore it has to be practiced. So learning discipline around food requires practice. So what alternative activities work for you might not work for your friend. So let's look at Tom's list. The distracting activities you choose should be practical. So going for a run in the middle of an afternoon at work because you've seen a donut probably won't be a practical option, right? So in an example, say I'm at work in the afternoon and someone has brought donuts in. Donuts are not on my snack plan, so I know that I don't want to eat one. But right now, I do. So I see them. I notice my triggering thought is there a strawberry cream one? I must get it before anyone else. But rather than following that thought through to action, I go to the toilet, I take 3 long, deep breaths. I go and fetch a glass of water, maybe, and sit back down at my desk, sitting up straight and smiling. Okay. Plans like this work. So we've got some low effort alternative activities and some high effort alternative activities. If you've got a situation where you know you really are going to be at risk, then go for a high effort activity. If you think, oh, I've just noticed that thought and I really don't want to follow it, do a low effort activity might be enough to just get you over the, over the hump of the urge to eat. And this is really based on, imagine you really wanted to eat something before bed. You don't wake up in the morning with that urge absolutely enormous because you haven't actioned it. It will have disappeared by the morning. So we tend to think when we're in the moment that urges to eat will increase, but actually they don't. They do subside, and you just need to distract yourself until that feeling subsides. So I don't know whether there's anyone that wants to post in the chat. Can you think of any other alternative activities that have a potential to distract them from thinking about snacking?
Well, it appears we have quite a big bunch of puzzlers
I
in the
love
group. Beth flipping loves a puzzle. Sam loves a puzzle, as I know, because she's posting them a lot. Sam also likes to knit and brush her teeth before. But going back to some of the early things, because I think there's a slight delay on Facebook, and please, guys, put your comments in on other things that you could use to distract you. I quite like the idea of playing guitar because your hands are busy and your mind's busy and it's creative. So you use a different part of your mind. So that's actually a really good idea. Same as listening to music or dancing or whatever. Cross stitch, Helen. Again, focused, you're using the creative part, so I'd imagine that's really good. Reading, Mel. But going back to some of your earlier stuff as well, going back to when people snack, Claudia's when she's overwhelmed, so like stress. Emotional eating, which I guess is a similar thing. Mel's going through quite a tough time at the moment. She said since being on steroids, she's really hungry and feels she needs to eat a lot more. And then Beth was supporting this thing about the hormonal shifts in us women because progesterone needs more sugar. So it's in the week leading up to your period as well. So hence why you might, like for me on day 1, I found myself eating a lot more today than I normally, not eating a lot more, but just noticing I'm hungry and I want to eat. So Sam, clean the house. Get busy. Yeah, that is such a good distraction. Yeah, housework, Tracy. Yeah, it's actually really good because you're actually then burning calories, so you're doing even better by cleaning and keeping your hands busy. So that's a really good one. And you then have a lovely house afterwards, so you don't want to get crumbs from a cake over it. So
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, loads of examples. Another example might be noticing 5 things that you can see or hear. If anyone's particularly into meditation, sort of grounding yourself in the moment can help you stop getting carried away with that thought. So anything that breaks the thought loop is a
Mm.
great alternative activity.
Yeah.
And on the Snackless program, we spend the last 13 days in this step. So this is where you'll build the discipline to make long-lasting changes to your snacking habits. We just simply remove it if you don't want to snack anymore. So the free workbook gives you the information we've just talked about with examples, and you can download this from snacklessnow.com. Just going to bring that up on screen. So if you go on there, you just need to scroll to the bottom and you will see that there's a field where you can put your email address in and you will get that email to you. If it doesn't come through, check your junk. It will come through. It just might be go to the wrong inbox, that's all. It's got a huge introductory discount right now on Snackless because it's spring. So if you do want to be eating less and you are willing to commit up to 10 minutes per day, so that's how long the coaching sessions take, absolute maximum, for 30 days, then please do consider it. But otherwise, yeah. Sorry, go on, Chloe.
So I was going to say, tell me how it works then, Laura. So Laura's amazing, right? So she's created all her own content with like audio coaching. So it's like a program. You sign up for 30 days or you get your money back if you're not happy, which I think's incredible. That's like really putting, what is it, the proof in the pudding, as it were.
Yeah.
We're discussing puddings, we're discussing Snackless. But you've got like this 30 days of content where you tune in, they listen to your voice doing a coaching, less than 10 minutes, and then they get on with the task for the day or whatever and work through the day's programs.
Yeah. So all you need to take part in the program is paper and pen and then access to the website. So you use the notebook and pen to write down what you're eating every day and when. And then you listen to a short pre-recording of my voice, which will have an activity on it. So that activity might be a visualization. So, imagining your healthiest eating day, what that feels like, etc. And I think there's no coaching sessions actually longer than 6 minutes, but I say to allow 10 because on some of the coaching sessions, I ask questions and I leave you time to write your answers down to those questions in the session. But if you want longer, you can just press pause, answer, and then carry on. Yeah. So sign into the website that day and there's the program all there for you, days 1, 2, 3, really clearly laid out. And you can listen at any time. So, it could be first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening, or it can change every day. I would say that when we did the trial of it, to make sure that all the content worked, the people who had most success doing it every day did it at the same time. I think they almost picked a time to commit to and go, right, I'm going to do Snackless it's only 30 days, I'm going to do it. So those are the people that had the most success.
That's amazing. And guys, this is less than £1 a day. Like, it's such a great discount and everything that Laura's offering, but I just think how much good value for a 30-day program with daily content to get you into these proper long-term habits for the healthier you and the version you want to be. It's so affordable. So go on to the website and go and check it out because it's a huge discount at the moment for the spring offer. And less than £1. It's cheaper than your Percy Pig's frizzy. I know she loves a Percy Pig.
Yeah.
And I know, Laura, I've got I saw one of your reviews that you had, and you haven't put it in here, which is naughty of you. So I'm going to just share the review that came out. It's in Pages. I'm sorry, I quickly knocked it up. But this will give you an idea of somebody's latest feedback. Shall I read it out for you, Laura, just to embarrass you? Why not? Hi, Laura. I don't know how she speaks. Moira. I've been following your Snackless program for 19 days so far, so she must be halfway through. I missed only 1 or 2 days. It's an excellent program, simple, easy to follow. I like the psychology. I've been and have taken quite a bit on board. At first I was eating more because I was thinking of food all the time. Now I'm more selective and careful what I'm eating. You come over really well. Your voice is so clear and confident. Every day there's a new message, and I like the climbing the mountain metaphor. Well done for designing such a good program. Many people could benefit from it. You're a great coach, Laura. Keep going. Moira.
Oh yeah, Moira is a counsellor, so her comments about the psychology and stuff really really touched me. I could have cried when I read that. Like, thank you so much for the encouragement. And yeah, like I say, she's 19 days in. That was the most recent sort of review I had. So yes, exciting for her. And yeah, obviously, if you get to day 30 of the program, guys, and you haven't reduced the number of snacks that you eat, you can have your money back. Like, honestly, I wouldn't want to take it, because I'm confident that it does work. You just need to, the hardest bit is actually committing to listening to it every day.
Yeah.
Basically.
But we've all got 10 minutes, guys, and self-care is paramount. I keep saying this to people. We've all got 10 minutes in the day for ourselves, use it like a meditation. Laura can be your meditative voice, and you can just tune in. So does anybody, hi Naomi's just come on the Facebook. Does anybody have any questions for Laura? I'm aware there's a little bit of a delay in the Facebook group, so I'm just watching, but does anyone have any questions? Laura will be tagged into this live. I'll make sure that she's on there so that she can answer any questions. Please, again, if you're watching it on replay, let her know. Go on her website, drop her a message, let her know you tuned in, let her know what you think. Download the free workbook, but please, I'd say for, everyone's watching the pennies right now, and I just think actually what amazing value it would be to just have something like that, and think of the money that you're going to save by not eating cake, crisps, biscuits and Percy Pigs. So yeah, Victoria, yes. So Victoria is a health coach for brides-to-be, and she said, can I buy your program for someone else?
Yes. As long as, so when you sign up, they will have to use their email address and password, because they'll need to sign in every day and log on. But yeah, absolutely, drop me a message in the Facebook chat and I will catch up with you about the best way to go about it.
Awesome. Actually, you two have got really good synergy. You guys should have a chat anyway. Mel says thank you so much, it was really good to listen to. Naomi, how do I stop my fetish for crisps? Help. Watch the replay, Naomi, get the free workbook and contact Laura and buy her program. That's
absolutely
what I'd say. But yeah, reach out to Laura and have a chat, Naomi, because yeah, Laura was saying crisps, chocolate, number two top big ones. So yeah, but it's absolutely awesome. I'm so happy so many tuned in. We had 15 at a time coming on the call, so you've had lots of people watching, and I know lots are going to watch it on replay as well. So I'm really pleased that we had so many tune in. Thanks, guys, it was really lovely. And Laura, amazing, love the program, looks fantastic. It's something that so many people need as well, just that discipline, and that it's psychology massively, and mindset. And I think what you've done is brilliant, because it's so simple in 30 days. So
so much for having me, Chloe.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Supporting.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you got the memo about the green.
Yes.
We laughed when we came on. We were like, what's that about? twinning on the green. It's literally the same colours. Yeah, okay. Right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Just so you know, we've got the 10-day reset starting after King Charles gets coronated. So it's going to start on Tuesday, the 9th of May. And we've got a couple of other lovely events in the pipeline as well. We've got our salad in a jar, not soup in a jar, because it's summer. So we're going to have our soup in a jar online on the same night on Tuesday the 9th, so that we can get a whole week of healthy food in the fridge as well, so that we snack less. So yeah, have our food ready and good to go. So yeah. All right, Laura, but thank you so much for tuning in tonight, everyone, and thanks, Laura, for giving up your time and sharing your amazing program.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, darling, take care.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.